Greetings, true believers. My name is CT Leffler, and welcome to this episode of Pump and Motor Dialogue. Now, on today's show, I've got Ron Davidson. Ron is the quality manager here at the gear pump side of the business. Ron's been with the company for over 40 years, and in that time has held a number of different positions. So we're going to talk to him about that, how things have changed over 40 years, and of course, our lovely and always fantastic Q&A round. If you'd like to hear more from Pump and Motor Dialogue, be sure to subscribe on YouTube or anywhere podcasts can be downloaded. With that being said, let's jump right into the episode with me and Ron Davidson here on Pump and Motor Dialogue.
Better?
All right, that looks good.
All right.
All right, Ron, well, I appreciate you coming on the show today. I mean, we've been doing this show for a while and trying to hit all the people around here at PMD, and you've been here for such a long time, so I'd love to bring you in and talk to you a little bit about just what you've been doing, the pump and motor division, all that stuff. But we'll start off with an easy question. Just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Right now, I serve as the plant quality manager. Like I said, I've been here 43 years, so I have been here a while. I've been in a lot of different roles. Started out as a machine operator in 1981. That's when I first come here to Parker. And after a few years, I became, back then, an SPC coordinator. I started working with the stats side of things. That was real big in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And after that, I became a quality manager, then went into the operations role for several years, and then I was operations manager for 7 or 8 years, supply chain, and management, a rep for the company there, and development manager for a lot of our suppliers. So it gave me a chance to travel a lot. And and then a few years after that, had the opportunity to get into the plant quality role. So I've been doing that now for about 6 months.
Okay, very interesting. Have you been at this facility the entire time?
The entire time, 43 years.
Okay, are you a Kings Mountain, Gastonia, West Charlotte guy?
In Gastonia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Are you from there originally, or this area originally?
Yes, I went to junior high school, so I've been in the area for a very long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, man, you must like the place if you've stuck around for this long.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of the old adage: if it's not broke, don't fix it.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. There you go.
So, Parker's been very good to me. It's been good to my family.
Mm-hmm.
It's provided a good career. And I've just been happy here with the area and
Mm-hmm.
with the job.
Okay, so back then it would have been commercial intertech. So take me back to 1981. Like, how did you find Parker? Because I mean, there were probably a bunch of different places back then that you could have gone to, out of high school, out of college, whatever you may have done.
Yeah, well, actually, one of my best friends' dad worked here, Lynn Wisnett. And so I was kind of introduced just casually. I would spend the night at his house with my good friend. Uh-huh. And just one morning, he was going to work, and I asked him where he was going, and he told me he was going to commercial intertech. And I just asked him, I said, "Do they need any help?" And so that was my introduction to commercial intertech. Applied for a job at the age of 20 and was hired.
Okay.
And then I started on a machine, and that was the beginning of my career with
All right, there you go.
commercial intertech.
All right. So when you're not here at Parker or commercial intertech back in the day, what do you like to do outside the office, just in your free time? What do you get into? What are some of your hobbies?
Well, I love to play golf. Been doing a lot less of it. I've got some younger kids. I remarried. I've got a 12 and a 14-year-old. They both play club soccer. Uh-huh. So I'm on the soccer fields a lot now on the weekends. Uh-huh. And 10 out of 12 months we're playing soccer.
Wow.
So,
okay.
So it keeps me busy. I think it helps keeps me young, and I really enjoy it. And I enjoy watching the kids develop. And so really that's where I spend most of my time. Most of it's with the family and doing the soccer and occasionally getting in around the golf.
Okay. So do you play soccer yourself?
No, I never did. When I was growing up, baseball was a sport,
right.
Baseball and football. Uh-huh. So I mainly played those sports, but soccer really wasn't on my radar back then.
Right. Yeah. So it's a different kind of football now.
Yes, a different kind of the American football and not the global football that we enjoy today.
Okay. So it sounds like you've been, you mentioned the production floor, you mentioned quality, I think you mentioned manufacturing. What what kind of drove you around to these different positions? Or is this something that someone came to you and they were like, we need some help over here, would you be interested? Like, how have you navigated all throughout the pump and motor division over the last 43 years?
Well, as I was growing with the company, opportunities would open up, and I would apply for those jobs. As a machinist, I had a lot of interest in the quality piece of it, and so I would apply for that, and that would lead to opportunities there, becoming familiar with the quality system. And in 1997 was when we become ISO certified when we were commercial Intertech. So I helped lead the company through that process. And that really exposed me to all phases of the business. And I probably learned more during that time and doing that job than anything I've ever done, because I touched every piece of the business.
Okay.
And
I bet for an ISO standard.
Absolutely. Sales and marketing, engineering. So I got to learn a lot, interacting with all of the different departments, and I really enjoyed it. And I have a lot of interest in the manufacturing side. So the quality and the manufacturing and just seeing problem solving, I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And then even working with our suppliers, I feel like each phase of my development with the company qualified me for the next job, especially supplier development. The quality and the experience I gained actually running a machine was invaluable to me as I worked with our suppliers.
Okay, because you can kind of talk the shop with them. You understand the different manufacturing processes that they're going through because you've done some of that yourself, and you can, I don't know, I guess, bridge that gap. You understand what's feasible and what's not feasible, and
absolutely
kind of where they can get there.
Yeah, you learn the language, you learn the manufacturing process, and when you're having problems, you can kind of relate to what may be the root cause of the problem. And working with your suppliers, it's often helpful to be able to talk through that, sharing our experiences from the machining side. If there's a quality problem, we can, a lot of times it goes to the process. How do you make the part? And you can talk about how you do that, what steps you're taking, and most times you can get to the root cause of the problem and solve it.
Okay. So what is something that you're proud of that you've done here at the Pump and Motor Division?
I would say probably the longevity and the growth, and being a team member of a great team. I think we've got the strongest team we've ever had right now. We've got a lot of good young talent with a mixture of seasoned talent like myself. And I think having that combination and the teamwork that we have, to me, that's what I'm most proud of, is working together as a team, solving problems as a team, and having that interaction and seeing others grow. I enjoy that. And I really enjoy working with the people we have here.
Okay, I agree. It's a very good group. Yeah. So you've seen so many different things come and go and change over time. Where do you think we're going, like from the manufacturing quality side of things, in the next 5 or 10 years or so?
Well, zero defects is our big challenge. Okay. Because we know every defect has the cost of that defect is greatly magnified the further it goes in the process. So our goal is always to have zero. And that's a big challenge for us. We want our customers to get the product on time, but we also want them to have good quality when they get the product.
Right, you don't want to come back.
Absolutely. So that's the big challenge for us in FY25 as we look just beyond standard quality. It's really taking it to the next level, being more proactive with our quality, making sure our capability is good. When we look at our tolerances, making sure it's built into the design. 2.0 CPK, for instance, is some of the basic things we want to look at.
Oh, wow, 2.0.
2.0, it's just not 1.33 anymore.
No, I hear you. Wow, that's impressive.
So, yeah, we want to get there. We've got some new equipment coming in on our grinders, so that's a good place for us to look at zero defects and is just ensuring that the quality is built in. We want to do some capability studies on those machines, establish our baseline, and then once we've set that baseline, just make sure we maintain it through regular checks and intervals. Okay, so the 2.0 CPK, is that strictly for machines or is that for product lines as well? Well, anything where you can measure the data, where we have variable data, 2.0 would be our goal, minimum goal. Okay, and I mean, if that's your goal, if you
get close to it, you're in good shape, because you mentioned the 1.33. I mean, that can be tricky depending on what you're working with, but 2.0, that's fantastic.
Absolutely. It just gives you a little bit more assurance that the process can move a little bit, because we're always going to have that variation, but it gives you the ability to let the process move and then get it back in line. We always want to stay centered in the process, but that's really the 2.0 just gives you a lot more assurance for the customer.
Okay. So speaking on that kind of quality side of it, how has the quality side of the business changed over time? Because you mentioned, I think you mentioned like statistics were really big in the 80s, and obviously they still are. We were talking about CPK and Six Sigma and whatnot. But how has that process changed over time that you've seen?
Well, I think back early on, if we would have said we had 99% good parts, good quality, we would think that's good. But that 1%, it's like 10,000 parts per million.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think any of us want to fly on an airplane where we're 99% good.
Oh, 99% sure we're going to make it.
So that's where it really comes into play is it really gives us assurance our product's going to last for a long time. The customer's going to get a good product, and they're going to get what they expect and more. We want to exceed those needs. And so really that's where it comes into play, especially when you're talking about safety. A lot of our pumps are used in applications where safety is a key metric.
Yeah.
If we're into mining or construction, we want our pumps to provide a safe, reliable performance.
Okay, so you've mentioned that you've been in this role for about 6 months now. And I know you said, you have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old?
That's correct.
So you got to keep working here for at least a little bit longer.
We'll have to see.
Okay, so where do you hope to see yourself? I mean, just in a couple years. Like, are you happy in the role you have now? Obviously, you want to continue to grow, but is there something you aspire to be beyond this?
Well, I think this is probably going to be my jumping off position.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm very content. I've always said I'm open to new opportunities if things come open, but I'm very content with what I'm doing. I'm able to interact with all the team. Quality encompasses a lot of things here. So yeah, I think the quality role will probably take me through the full term of my employment here.
Okay.
That'll probably be my jumping off point.
All right. Very good. That's awesome. And I know that, just around the business itself, everybody really likes you. You're very well respected. People speak very highly of you. I remember a few years ago when it was your 40th anniversary, we did a little video for you. Right. And I had the honor of editing that, and just, oh my God, they only wanted it to be like 90 seconds long, but there were so many clips of people saying nice things and doing all that about you. I mean, it was really tough to edit that down a little bit. So, I mean, if you guys don't know Ron, this is the guy. I mean, we all call him RD around here, but trying to be as formal as I can for the outside podcast market. Yeah. Hello there, friends. CT here with your mid-roll ad read to break up the podcast a little bit. As always, if you'd like to learn more about Pump and Motor Division, feel free to visit our website at parker.com/PMD. There you can find all about our industries, products, and more. That's parker.com/PMD. Now let's get back to the show. Okay, so I think that's about all I have for you as far as more of the standard questions go. I do have a little Q&A section that I'd like to run through with you here. It's 10 questions that's just about all sorts of things, and I mean, we could talk about that stuff too if we get through it and have questions. I will ask you this. I'm not going to feel bad if you say no.
Okay.
Have you listened to the show in the last 3, 4, 5 episodes?
I have not.
Okay, that's fine. This is going to be all new for you.
Okay. I apologize.
No. Like I said, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I understand. All right, so 10 questions. Answer them honestly as you can. And like I said, if you feel you need to defend your opinion, that's fine. And I may have some questions, and we'll see what happens. All right. So first one's an easy one. What is the last song that you listened to?
I've got Friends in Low Places.
All right. You listened to it on the way in this morning?
It was this weekend.
Is this weekend? Okay. All right. So what do you listen to on the way in?
Usually it's contemporary Christian music.
Okay. All right. What was your favorite childhood TV show?
Star Trek.
There you go.
Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk.
Leonard
All right.
Nimoy.
You watch any of the new ones?
Not so much the new ones. I've watched some of them, but the old ones are the ones that are my favorites.
All right. I just finished watching Strange New Worlds, and it's good, man. It's good. It takes place right before the original series.
Okay.
No, it's good. Some of the classic characters show up. Obviously played by different people, but
Right.
All right, this one's a bit of a thinker, so take a second if you need to. If you received an elephant and you had to keep it, what would you do with it?
Well, I'd probably try to find a traveling circus to donate it to.
No. You have to keep it.
I have to keep it. Oh, wow.
And you can't get rid of it in other, more grisly ways either.
Okay.
You got to keep it.
That is a tough one right there. The kids would love it. So I guess I just have to make some room in the backyard for it.
All right. Cool. All right. What is the fastest you've ever driven?
It was about 140 at the Autobahn when I was over in Europe. There's
Miles per hour?
Miles per hour, yeah.
Okay. Not kilometers per hour.
No, it was
miles per hour. Okay. All right. 140 miles per hour.
I started getting nervous. The car was starting to float.
Starting to lift off a little?
So I stopped.
You're starting to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite carnival food?
I'm not a big carnival guy, but I would have to probably say popcorn.
Popcorn?
That's not very...
I mean, you can get popcorn anywhere.
I know, but like I said, I'm not really a carnival guy.
Well, no, that's fair.
Probably wouldn't have been much better to say hot dog.
Well, I guess not.
May I ask you what yours is?
Well, I really like the cheesecake on a stick.
Maybe how about candy apples?
Yeah, okay, there
Candy
we go.
apples.
That's a carnival food.
Yeah,
I mean, you can get hot dogs and popcorn at the movies. But
let's go with candy apples.
Candy apples. Yeah. All right. Dark milk or white chocolate?
Dark.
All right. How dark?
80%.
Oh, there you
Coca-Cola.
go. There you go.
Yeah, I like dark chocolate.
Really, you can almost taste the fruit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you're out in a hotel somewhere on the road by yourself. What temperature are you setting that thermostat to?
68.
68. Is that what it is at home?
No, the wife only lets me put it at 70.
Okay, but when it's up to you, 68.
68,
All
and
right.
she'll bump it to 71. So 68's where I like it.
Okay. Name a 4-letter word that starts with a B.
Ball.
Ball. All right. What is your favorite color and why?
My favorite color has always been blue. I like the color.
It just works with you?
It works with me.
All right. I mean, I'm looking at your eyes and they're brown, but they're not the darkest brown. There's almost a little silver in there. I bet that really works with the blue.
Well, if I had a choice, they'd be blue. And I would have long blonde hair.
Well, I guess we can't have everything.
You can see there's not been any long hair in a long time.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Did you used to have long hair?
Yeah, I actually did.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, it was longer than yours.
Oh, nice.
Over my ears and on my shoulder a little bit. Yeah.
We got to find a picture of that somewhere.
Yeah, that's an oldie.
All right, last question. If you could instantly become an expert in one skill, what would it be?
Wow, that's a good one. I guess I would lean towards wisdom, having, as much wisdom as you can, because that covers a lot of areas as being a wiser person.
That is such a hot dog and popcorn answer. I'm not going to let you get away with that. Wisdom isn't a skill. It's more of a trait.
It might be a skill if you don't feel like you have it. Skill, okay. Well, as far as something that would I would personally like to do.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
I'd love to be a professional golfer. I'd love to have the skills to be a professional golfer.
There you go.
Instance. I love the sport. I love being outside.
Mm-hmm.
Love being around people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think as far as a professional type skill that would be personal to myself, I would say being a professional golfer.
Nice. Well, how good are you now? Do you play with a handicap? Do you know what it is?
Well, when I was playing regular, I was probably about the best I was probably about an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
but
really
I have
good.
not been, since COVID, I just haven't been playing much. Kind of got out of the routine. And my buddies were thinking about getting started back.
There you go.
Had some conversations even within the past week. And
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into it, actually looking at maybe buying some new clubs.
All right. Hey, perfect time.
Absolutely.
You're getting started back up again. Now's the time to do it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that was the Q&A session. I've got one more question that I always end these interviews with. But before I do, is there anything that you'd like to say or put out there, or something you'd like to go back and touch on?
Well, I guess one of the biggest things that I've gained from my experience with Parker is, you're going to have good times and bad times. And just remember, challenging times, I might say, is persevere, work through them. Remember, you'll get past it. And you'll look back at some of those more challenging times, and those will be some of the times you'll experience your greatest growth as a person and as a teammate with your employment. And I've experienced some of that. I've experienced a lot of the blessings here working with Parker. It's been a great company. It's been a great ride for me. My family's been blessed by working for Parker, and I don't take that for granted. I appreciate Parker and the opportunities it's provided for me. So one of the big things that I've gained is just perseverance, and just keep moving forward, and things will work out. And some of the things that you thought you should have gotten, maybe it was a job that came and you missed it. And I look back, I had some of those things happen, and I look back and I said, I really wasn't ready then, but I'm better prepared now.
Okay.
So I think looking at that, that gives you, that's how we get our experience. That's how we gain wisdom, is through those, more through the disappointments than the successes. So hold on to those disappointments, and they're very valuable.
All right. I think that's excellent advice for really anyone listening to it, younger, more seasoned in their role or their job or their career. All right. So last question I have for you is, give me one professional goal and one personal goal that you have for yourself right now.
Professionally, I just want to contribute. I want to make things better. I want to be part of the team here that's making things better. And really, the team, being a part of the team to me is very special. And my goal as far as I get closer to retirement is, I want them to miss me when I'm gone. I don't want people to say I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to add value on the last day and have the same pride in our work as we did the first day.
Okay.
And that's the kind of person I want to be remembered for, is, I went across the finish line stretching, not coasting.
Yeah.
I don't want to coast to the finish line.
Yeah.
I want to sprint to the finish line in my working career, and then look forward to those opportunities outside of Parker.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that pretty well covers personal and professional goals, to be honest. All right, cool. Well, hey, that's all I have for you, RD. I appreciate you being on the show today. And yeah, man.
Thank you, CT.
We'll be seeing you around.
Thank you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another classic episode of Pump and Motor Dialogue in the books. I'd like to thank Ron for coming on the show, sharing a little bit of his wisdom with us today, which, again, I don't believe is a skill. I believe it's a fantastic trait, but not a skill. So I had to push back on him a little bit. But anyway, I enjoyed Ron coming on the show, sharing some of his wisdom, sharing some advice with us, and sharing his knowledge of the history of the pump and motor division from the last 43 years. If you'd like to learn more about the show, feel free to shoot us an email at pumpmotor@parker.com. That's pumpmotor@parker.com. Be sure to like and subscribe to the show on YouTube or anywhere podcasts can be downloaded. And with all that being said, we'll sign off like we always do. My name is CT Leffler. This has been Pump and Motor Dialogue, and I can only show you to the door. You're the one that has to walk through it. Have a good one.